The channel Never Save These 6 Types of People began with a single powerful idea: to explore the dark strategies of human behavior and uncover the brutal truths that society often tries to suppress. The idea was born out of a deep need to challenge conventional thinking and inspire viewers to face reality head-on, no matter how uncomfortable the truth may be. The opening video, featuring a gripping tale of self-sabotage and survival, captured the attention of thousands, sparking deep emotional reactions. The creator, a master of storytelling, knew that they needed a unique angle, something bold that would not only educate but also provoke intense introspection. They started with an exploration of Machiavelli's ruthless lessons, understanding that not everyone can be saved, and that some people thrive on chaos and destruction. With a clear vision, they began crafting content with one central theme: shedding the illusions of kindness and compassion in favor of survival and self-preservation. The creator understood that their most powerful tool was not just their knowledge, but the ability to capture raw human emotions and craft stories that resonate on a deeply personal level. In the first few months, the channel's focus was crystal clear. Each video dove deep into the psychology of the people who destroy others, the types of individuals who drain their loved ones and leave them broken. The opening message was shocking yet undeniably truthful. "You are destroying yourself, and you call it love," the script boldly proclaimed, inviting the audience to reflect on their own experiences with people who manipulate, betray, and exploit their kindness. This bold, unapologetic approach to content creation was exactly what the channel needed to stand out. The creator's ability to engage with viewers through thought-provoking narratives mixed with elements of philosophical analysis quickly garnered attention. It wasn't just another YouTube channel offering surface-level advice. It was a call to arms, urging people to rethink their lives and the people they allow into their personal circles. As the channel began to grow, so did its loyal following. The creator's deep dives into the darkest aspects of human nature resonated with an audience eager for content that was raw, real, and devoid of the usual sugarcoating. The videos became more than just lessons on human behavior. They were a mirror reflecting the harsh realities that many people try to avoid. But the path was not always smooth. The channel faced its fair share of challenges. Controversy swirled around the boldness of the content. Some viewers were upset by the dark themes, while others found themselves deeply moved, even challenged. Yet, despite the backlash, the creator pushed forward, determined to stay true to their vision. With the channel gaining traction, the creator knew that they had to keep up the momentum. They began refining their content strategy. Instead of just speaking to the audience, they began addressing them directly, making each video feel like a personal conversation. The tone of the videos became even more engaging and emotionally charged, using a mix of storytelling and hard-hitting facts to drive home each point. The creator's strategy was simple but effective. Content that challenged the status quo, provoked deep thinking, and sparked conversation. They didn't shy away from controversial topics, but instead used them as a springboard for even deeper discussions on human nature. Each video followed a pattern of dissecting toxic behaviors and offering a blueprint for dealing with the types of people who drain you. The channel's growth was exponential. Within a few months, it surpassed the first major milestone, 100,000 subscribers. But the success was not without its hurdles. The creator had to balance creating content that resonated with viewers while also staying true to the deeper, often uncomfortable lessons they were teaching. SEO played a crucial role in the channel's expansion. The creator became an expert in optimizing their videos for maximum reach. They understood the YouTube algorithm and used it to their advantage, focusing on high-retention strategies, engaging titles, and descriptive thumbnails that drew in new viewers. At the same time, the content itself remained consistent, uncompromising, and unapologetic. The first videos focused heavily on Machiavelli's lessons, digging into the psychology of the people who exploit others for their own gain. As the channel grew, the creator began experimenting with different content formats. They added deeper dives into specific psychological concepts, such as narcissism, entitlement, and betrayal. These videos were often long-form, pushing the boundaries of what viewers expected from a typical YouTube video. But each was carefully crafted to maintain a steady pace, never losing the audience's attention. The next step was to build a community. The creators' audience was unlike any other. They were not passive viewers. They were engaged, eager to learn, and ready to apply the lessons to their own lives. The creator created a community space where viewers could share their experiences and discuss the content. The videos became a catalyst for larger conversations about self-preservation, boundaries, and the harsh truths of human nature. As the channel grew, so did the expectations. The creator realized that they had to balance providing value with staying true to their message. The deep philosophical dives into Machiavellian thought had to be coupled with more practical advice. Each video had to offer a takeaway, a lesson that viewers could apply to their own lives. The success of the channel was no longer about views, it was about impact. The creator had cultivated a space where people came for enlightenment, for understanding, and for guidance. As the channel reached new heights, the challenges began to multiply. The creator now had to contend with the inevitable pressures of success. More viewers meant more scrutiny, and with scrutiny came criticism. Some of the channel's boldest statements had sparked heated debates, but the creator remained steadfast. They knew that the journey would not be without obstacles, and they were ready to face whatever came next. They took the criticism in stride, using it to refine their content even further. Every challenge became an opportunity for growth. One of the biggest challenges was maintaining authenticity in a world full of superficial content. The creator was determined not to fall into the trap of clickbait titles or sensationalized stories. Their success, they believed, lay in their ability to stay true to the core message of the channel, cutting through the noise and speaking the uncomfortable truths that others shy away from. As the channel solidified its identity, the creator knew that to continue growing, they would need to push their content boundaries even further. They had established themselves as a unique voice, unafraid to explore the darker sides of human nature, but now it was time to deepen the narrative and expand their reach. The next step in their journey was to create content that not only resonated on a personal level, but also sparked cultural and societal debates. They began to focus on broader themes: the consequences of unchecked power, the psychological cost of loyalty, and the intricacies of betrayal. These videos would delve into real-life examples, case studies, and historical events, blending psychology, philosophy, and strategy. Each piece of content became a well-researched examination of human nature's darker sides, expertly tying them to the everyday experiences of the viewer. In the process, the creator began incorporating guest experts, bringing in psychologists, historians, and even sociologists to offer their perspectives on topics such as Machiavellianism, toxic relationships, and emotional manipulation. This added an extra layer of credibility to the content, making it more well-rounded and enriching the overall viewer experience. While the intellectual and philosophical tone remained the backbone of the channel, there was now a greater emphasis on providing practical tools and advice. The audience was not only consuming thought-provoking content, they were learning how to implement these lessons into their daily lives. The creator began offering actionable strategies for viewers to set boundaries, navigate toxic relationships, and protect their mental and emotional energy. The channel became more than just a space for philosophical discussion. It was a blueprint for surviving in a world filled with emotional predators. This shift allowed the channel to appeal to a wider audience. Viewers who had initially been drawn in by the Machiavellian concepts now found themselves deeply engaged in the practical steps needed to apply those lessons to their personal and professional lives. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive, and the creator began receiving messages from people who had used the channel's teachings to make life-changing decisions, ending toxic relationships, standing up to manipulative people, and taking back control of their lives. SEO and marketing strategies evolved as well. The creator began experimenting with collaborations and paid promotions, carefully choosing partnerships that aligned with their values. These efforts helped the channel gain traction outside of its usual niche, bringing in viewers who were curious about the deeper psychological topics but not necessarily familiar with Machiavelli or the darker sides of human behavior. The community aspect of the channel also expanded during this time. Viewers now had the option to join private, members-only spaces where they could engage in deeper conversations, participate in live Q&A sessions, and receive exclusive content. The creator's ability to build a tight-knit, loyal following became a key asset in the channel's growth. They weren't just creating videos, they were fostering a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who wanted to learn how to protect themselves from the toxic forces in the world. As the channel gained more recognition, the creator received increasing requests for one-on-one consultations, workshops, and even book deals. The potential for branching out into new areas, books, public speaking, online courses was clear, but the creator remained focused on their mission. Every new opportunity had to align with the core values of the channel, and they were determined not to lose sight of what made them successful in the first place. With growth, however, came a new set of challenges. The more successful the channel became, the more scrutiny it attracted. The creator began to realize the true cost of their success. The very boldness that had drawn viewers in also made them a target for detractors. As the channel's philosophy continued to challenge conventional thinking, it attracted criticism from those who disagreed with its premise, as well as those who felt threatened by its popularity. The content, while resonating deeply with many, also alienated a small but vocal minority. Some viewers accused the creator of promoting negativity, encouraging cold-hearted behavior, and undermining the values of empathy and compassion. For the first time, the creator found themselves caught in the midst of a battle between their core beliefs and the opinions of others. But instead of shying away, the creator leaned into these challenges. They viewed the criticisms not as attacks, but as opportunities to further solidify their message. In a public statement, they explained the philosophy behind the channel in greater detail. The aim was never to encourage cruelty or indifference. Rather, it was about understanding the complexities of human nature and the necessity of self-preservation. They reiterated the importance of protecting one's mental and emotional energy, not as an act of selfishness, but as a prerequisite for being able to help those who truly deserve it. This open confrontation with criticism allowed the creator to engage even more deeply with their audience. It sparked thoughtful discussions in the comments section, and viewers expressed their gratitude for the creator's commitment to staying true to their mission. The creator made it clear that while they respected differing opinions, they would never dilute the message to appease the masses. Their loyalty was first and foremost to their audience and to the message they had started with. In parallel, the creator began to see an even more significant shift in their own personal life. The boundaries they had established through the channel's teachings were now being applied in their own relationships. They became more selective about the people they allowed into their life, ensuring that those they spent time with were truly aligned with their values. Their personal growth mirrored the channel's trajectory. Both had become stronger, more focused, and more resilient. It was no longer just about providing content, it was about living the lessons they preached. As the creator moved through the world, they noticed how much their ability to say no had improved, and how much more peace they had gained in the process. As the channel continued to thrive, the creator saw an opportunity to expand beyond the screen and engage with their audience in ways that were even more personal. The overwhelming success of the content, coupled with the dedicated community of viewers, meant that the creator was no longer just a content creator. They had become a mentor, a leader in a growing movement that focused on personal empowerment, mental fortitude, and survival in a chaotic world. With this newfound responsibility, the creator made a strategic decision to launch a series of live events and workshops. These were not just about watching videos or listening to lectures. They were about transforming the lives of attendees in real time. The workshops focused on practical strategies for dealing with toxic people, setting boundaries, and applying Machiavellian principles of self-preservation in daily life. The creators' ability to connect with their audience face-to-face added a new layer of depth to the channel, reinforcing the idea that survival and self-care are not abstract concepts, but real-world skills that require action and constant reflection. The live events became some of the most anticipated moments in the channel's timeline. Each one was designed to give attendees a deeper understanding of the principles that had made the channel so successful. The events were structured to provide both intellectual insights and emotional breakthroughs. There were sessions on emotional intelligence, recognizing manipulative behaviors, and how to cultivate a mindset of resilience. The creators' authenticity shone through as they shared their personal experiences with toxic relationships, betrayal, and the hard lessons they had learned along the way. But these workshops weren't just about the creator imparting knowledge. They were also about empowering the attendees to take ownership of their own journeys. The creator facilitated group exercises that encouraged self-reflection, vulnerability, and growth. In this space, attendees felt safe to open up about their struggles with toxic individuals, and many left the events with newfound clarity and strength. The success of the live workshops inspired the creator to expand their content into a broader platform. The next step was to create an online course designed for those who could not attend the live events. This course would offer a more structured, in-depth exploration of the lessons shared in the videos. It would include modules on self-preservation, recognizing the 6 dangerous types of people, and learning how to implement Machiavellian strategies for personal growth and empowerment. By now, the creators' reputation had reached new heights. They were invited to appear on podcasts, join discussions on larger platforms, and even collaborate with other thought leaders in the fields of psychology and philosophy. This exposure allowed the creator to reach an even wider audience, and the channel's subscriber count surged to over 1 million. Yet, despite the massive growth, the creator remained focused on their mission: to help people navigate the complexities of human relationships and teach them how to protect their emotional and mental well-being. As the creator's influence expanded, so did the shadows of success. With more attention came more scrutiny, not only from viewers but from the media and other content creators. The creator found themselves at the center of a broader conversation about the role of influencers and content creators in shaping societal norms. While many praised the channel for its honesty and its willingness to tackle uncomfortable truths, others were more critical. Some argued that the Machiavellian approach promoted a cold, transactional view of relationships that was too cynical and dismissive of the inherent goodness of human nature. These critics felt that the channel's message, while compelling, was too one-dimensional and failed to take into account the complexity of human behavior. The creator took these criticisms seriously, but didn't allow them to derail their vision. They understood that no one could please everyone, and that staying true to their mission was more important than catering to every possible viewpoint. They continued to engage with their critics, offering thoughtful responses and clarifications. At the same time, they focused even more on delivering content that was aligned with their core values. They knew that their message was one that resonated deeply with many, and that was enough. As the channel reached new milestones, the creator also became increasingly aware of the personal sacrifices that came with success. The more time they devoted to creating content, interacting with their audience, and building the brand, the less time they had for their personal life. They realized that the boundary between their personal and professional worlds had begun to blur. The challenge was now to balance the demands of their growing empire with their need for self-care and connection with loved ones. This realization led to a period of introspection. The creator understood that while the channel had become a powerful force for good, it was also a reflection of their own personal journey. The lessons they were teaching to their viewers were the same lessons they had learned in their own life. It was a continuous cycle of growth, both for the creator and their audience. With this newfound understanding, the creator decided to take a step back and reevaluate how they could continue to grow without compromising their well-being. They began to implement more sustainable work habits, ensuring that they would not lose themselves in the process of helping others. They also began to focus on their own personal growth in ways they had neglected before. They sought out therapy, took time for introspection, and reconnected with friends and family. With the creator now more grounded in their personal life, they approached the next phase of their channel's growth with a renewed sense of purpose. They recognized that true leadership didn't just involve guiding others, it also involved embodying the principles they preached. To be an effective mentor, they had to ensure that they were living with integrity, creating a space where both the creator and the audience could grow and evolve together. This deepened the authenticity of the content and allowed the creator to connect with their audience on a more profound level. The content shifted slightly. While the focus on toxic people and Machiavellian principles remained central, there was now a greater emphasis on the art of self-preservation through reflection and mindfulness. The creator had spent years in the trenches of their own journey, and they were now equipped with new tools for emotional balance and self-discovery. These tools were integrated into the content, offering practical strategies for overcoming personal challenges, managing stress, and finding clarity amidst the chaos. The audience took notice of this transformation. Many of them had been following the creator since the beginning, when the channel was centered on survival in a harsh world, focusing solely on the manipulative forces around them. Now, however, they saw a more holistic approach emerging, one that integrated the survival strategies with self-care, self-love, and personal growth. In the meantime, the live events continued to flourish. The creator introduced new workshops centered around emotional intelligence, focusing on how to navigate relationships with awareness and compassion without sacrificing personal boundaries. They taught their community how to recognize their own needs and how to prioritize themselves without feeling guilty. This was a delicate balance, caring for others while never losing sight of the importance of one's own mental and emotional health. The introduction of these new concepts sparked even more engagement. Attendees who had initially come to the workshop seeking to protect themselves from toxic people now found themselves learning about personal healing, self-reflection, and building healthy relationships. The creator's message had evolved from merely surviving in a dangerous world to thriving despite its challenges. The workshops were not just about identifying harmful behaviors in others, they were also about breaking free from the past, shedding the weight of old emotional scars, and finding inner peace. The creator also began to write a book, encapsulating the lessons learned over the years. The book would dive deeper into the psychology behind human behavior, offering readers a detailed guide to understanding Machiavellian principles, setting boundaries, and learning how to protect their emotional well-being. The book would serve as a roadmap for those who wanted to delve even further into the content of the channel but needed something more substantial to guide them. Simultaneously, the creator began to expand their brand into other forms of media. They launched a podcast where they discussed deep psychological concepts with guest experts and engaged in candid conversations about self-preservation and personal growth. The podcast became a natural extension of the channel, offering another avenue for viewers to explore the lessons shared in the videos and workshops. They found a way to reach people who were on the go, allowing the audience to engage with the content in a more flexible format. As the years passed, the creator began to see their work as part of a much larger movement. What started as a single YouTube channel focused on Machiavellian strategies and survival had blossomed into a full-fledged philosophy of self-preservation and personal empowerment. They had built an empire not just based on views or subscribers, but on the real impact they were having on people's lives. The creator's journey had come full circle. What began as an exploration of Machiavelli's ruthless teachings now included a broader understanding of human nature and how to thrive in a world full of toxic influences. The channel's success was no longer measured solely by numbers, but by the testimonials of viewers whose lives had been changed, those who had learned how to stand up for themselves, set boundaries, and protect their inner peace. The creator's impact extended far beyond YouTube. They had become a mentor to countless people who had been lost in toxic relationships or overwhelmed by life's challenges. The message they shared of ruthless self-preservation and empowerment resonated deeply with people from all walks of life. They had built a community of like-minded individuals who valued strength, wisdom, and emotional resilience. They had created a space where people could come together, learn, and grow. However, even with all the success, the creator knew that this was not the end. The lessons learned throughout the journey were not static. As the world continued to evolve, so too would the content. New challenges would arise, and the creator was ready to adapt, innovate, and continue guiding their audience through the complexities of human nature. The ultimate message, though, remained the same. Life is about choices. It's about understanding your own worth, recognizing the toxic forces around you, and making conscious decisions about who you allow to share your space. The creator had not just built a YouTube channel, they had built a movement, one that empowered individuals to take control of their lives, protect their peace, and pursue the kind of success that was not defined by others' expectations, but by their own strength and resilience. As the creator stood on the precipice of this new phase, they couldn't help but reflect on the journey. It had not been easy, but it had been worth it. The channel had become a legacy, a testament to the power of self-awareness, personal growth, and the ruthless pursuit of survival.